Hi my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. We have the Secret Lives of Color, the last pink block, which is here in the month of April. Then we move on to red, everything red for May in our Secret Lives of Color. I also have a little project that I was trying to just wrap up. So I'll show you that and what I was doing, some goodies and a mail call. So, okay, what is our color? Amaranth. It's kind of a more muted pink, you know, down from those fluorescents. It's a flower, which I had to go look it up. So here is what it looks like. And the colors, the pinks, so I went with the dustier pink. Mine's a little lighter than I think the color should be, like based on that flower. But anyway, this is what I went with. And it'll go on the next row, which is row 3 of my quilt, using the layout with the multiple size blocks. Here I've got my layout, got mine all sewn, row 1 and row 2. So here we go. Ta-da! Yep. So happy with it. So happy with it. I'll have to take some sort of picture outside. Maybe I'll go hang it up on the clothesline and take a photo later. Show it, because I need to see it. I need to see it from a distance. Outside, yes. Okay, let's take a look. I was going to clean up my Secret Lives of Color. I was going to clean up my Sweet Dreams bin, because I actually have 2 bins going for Block Wednesday. I have one with just the fabric and then one with the blocks and some extra stuff. So here is this bin, which is not the one with the fabrics. This is with the blocks and everything. And do you remember that in the beginning, I was using some of my crumb blocks and showing you how to cut them up and put them into the 9-inch blocks that were in the center. And I just did it for those first 9 blocks and then, you know, moved on to other things. So those were still in here. So I've taken the blocks themselves out, and I'll show you in a second. But let's see what else is in here, because, you know, basically I need this container now, you know. I need it. So this was what I've cut some of that up. Here's some of the fabrics that I used in the blocks. So these are big enough that there's a scrap, I can just put those back into the bins, the black and the peach color bins. Then I have a bunch of miscellaneous, some strips, some miscellaneous cutoffs. These are from the crumb blocks. So I can either keep them or put them in the bag, like my crumb stuff giveaway bag, which is I think what I'm going to do with it. This is I think 2.5 inches. So I think I'm going to save that a minute, because this is actually for the regular one, not for these crumb blocks. So I'll save that. So these guys will all go in the extra. Plus I have this bag. There's some of the things I use to take the pictures. But then there's also some fabric in here. Some extra blocks, you know, things that didn't get used up. And I think all of that stuff, a wonder clip, yeah. All of this will just go in the scrap bag that I'm building. And my scrap bag is actually, let me get it, because it's actually quite full right now. This is fuller. I mean, I'm just almost the end of April, which is just 1 month of stuff. And I've been a little more generous with what I'm putting in here this time. There's some bigger pieces, see, not just little tiny pieces like this. So there we go. I don't think I'm going to get 3 months of stuff into this bag like I did last time, but we'll see. Okay, so basically this will go, oh, there's some more squares. See, it's some more squares. I think that'll go in there too, because I just don't need all that. Okay, this bin then had the crumb blocks. So let's take a look at the crumb blocks and what I'm doing with them. So do you remember from Sweet Dreams, these were the blocks that I did with the crumbs, the crumb blocks that I had made. So I cut them up and did the first 9 blocks from Sweet Dreams. Look at the little elephants. Yeah, so I've decided what I'm going to do with these is put a sashing and then a border. I think I'll do some cornerstones too in this, I think in this peach here, which I really like, pinky peach. And then I'll see what I have in my collection to do a border on it, just for a table topper kind of thing. So the blocks are sewn. What I did was grab a bunch of different fabrics to audition for a border. we'll see. I just took a variety. I'm not really sure what's going to look good until I put it up there. So let's take a look at this. First of all, I picked one that I've had this piece of fabric. It's just a half a yard, which is a half a yard. Yeah. So, you know, it'll be enough. I think half a yard will be enough. I might have to do a cornerstone, but it has a bunch of different colors. It's an older tulip pink, and I've never used it for anything. I think it'd be good for fussy cutting, but I thought, what would it look like? So we'll just stick it up here. What I'm going to do is just put them up on the top like this so that we can see each one. I don't know, I got about 6 options. So there we go. So that is interesting. I think it's too busy. You know, it just has too much pattern. The blocks themselves are fairly dark. So I think the border needs to be a little bit darker, not a light border. So that's what I went with what I picked out to try. Okay, so what else do I have? There is a little bit of blue in here. There's little pops of blue. And I thought, well, what if I did something with blue? Maybe that would pull the blue out. So let's just stick this one on the side. So there would be, and I don't need a wide border. So the blue is nice. It's not too, you know, distracting. I guess that would be the word. It stays, you know, keeps you in focus for the center. Okay, so that's a maybe. That's in the maybe pile. Here's another tulip pink, which was from, you know, has a whole bunch of the different colors, and it's got a kind of a look of a gray, I would say. When you put it up here, it feels like a gray fabric, which kind of ties into the blacks that are in there, the black fabrics. So that's okay. So I'm not hitting a wow yet. I'm not hitting a like, oh, this is really fun. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for, baby. Okay. So I have this stripe. It's green. Now there are some green fabrics. There's green in a lot of the blocks. And so I thought, well, what do I have in green? I didn't really have anything that was, you know, I was going like, oh, that's a really interesting one. But I have this stripe. It's also one I've had a long time. So let's see if I put the stripe up. Whoops, got folded too good. But once again, these are all things I think I have just enough of. Plus stripes are easy to just piece it if I have to piece something. So the stripe is pretty nice. I actually like that a lot because it also has black in it. I feel like that's, so far, I think I like this one the best. That's my best option. Okay, what else do we have? I have a couple more. Now here I have where the one I really, really love, but I only have a fat quarter and I'm not gonna go buy more fabric for this. So let me show you that. So this is the one that I think is just so cool. I only have a fat quarter of it. I don't know, let me just put it up there and just show you. I don't even know what line it is or anything. I'm not really sure. But there is, that has like all the colors. It's dark and it pulls in some of the green, the reds. There's, you know, it just looks really, really good. I love it. But I'm not gonna go buy more of that. I'm sure I could figure out what it was if I wanted to. So instead, I looked around and I have a piece of this, which is what I used in the old school block of the month. I have a piece of this left and it reads similar to this. It's more muted and it's peach. There's no pops of blue in it, which is what I like on this other one. Okay, so I have this option. Then I have one more after that. Okay. So let's see how this works. And there's plenty of this to do. So this is peach tones, which is nice because there's lots and lots of peach tones in there. So I think that works really good. It's a really good option. All right, let me show you the last one. Oh, I like the last one. I have to squeeze it out though, and I'll tell you what the issue is with the last one if I decide to go with it. All right, I have a half a yard of the chickens, black and white chickens. It is fantastic. The issue is, for me, they're directional. So sideways, the chickens are going to be sideways, which, you know, if this were to be a table mat, then it's flat on a table. That's really not going to matter. Could I buy more chickens? This is a Wyndham fabric. I'm sure I could hunt around and buy more chickens, but I wouldn't. Okay, here we go. Let's put him on the top so you can see him, you know, right side. So let's get him up there. Okay. And what do you think? Yeah. Ooh la la. The chickens for the win. I like the chickens. I like the black and white graphic of it. Plus, it's playful, it's fun. Maybe the chickens with a binding, with that green binding on it. So that could work. That could work. Use up some of that binding, some of that green stripe, which I've also had forever. So there's no chunk out of the chickens either. That's just, you know, I have enough of that. So let me know what you think. Do you like the floral, or maybe that green? Maybe you even like the blue, because, you know, for decorating, if you're going to decorate, you know, that could work really well. Or do you like the chickens? Let me know. Let me know. So fun, right? Getting to pick a border on that. I'm really glad. I just did it last night. I said, okay, it's just some strips and some squares to get that center part done. I'm gonna get it done, make up a little top. All right, let's do a mail call. I have got some super duper cute mail from you. So let's see. The first is from Sarah in Colorado. So she sent this beautiful card and a wonderful note and some goodies. First, red, everything red. Look at the scissor fabric. Isn't that darling? And scissors, red scissors. Look at the heart on the bottoms of them. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Okay, then I have from my from my friend Barbara in Pennsylvania, who sent me all the peeps here. So she put a picture on the top of her note to me. She's my peep connection. She saw this little unicorn notebook and she got it for me. Oh, isn't that cute? Thank you, Barbara. Thank you. And then I have from Rose in Oregon. She also sent me a card. Look how cute this card is with the kitties. Oh my goodness. So darling. And she sent me a beautiful scarf. So let me see. Look at this. It looks like a quilt pattern, doesn't it? So cute. Look at that. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Mwah. These are awesome. Okay, let's take a look at some fabric. Why not? So I got two of the clubs in. I have the clubs from the Fat Quarter Shop, which are the So Colorful and the Ruby Society. So I just thought I'd show you the two of them so you get an understanding of the difference. There's a little bit of a difference in them and sort of how how they think about them and sort of how I use them. So the first is the So Colorful Club, which is one color. So you can go and get past ones. I didn't see this one anymore, but I'm just going to show it to you. And then they send you a guide that tells you what all of these fabrics are. So that's the So Colorful Club, is always one color per bag. And so when you get this, you know, then you can, you know, flip through. I'll just show you these are all tonals this time, all different cream fabrics. Look at the bottles with the flowers in it. Lots and lots of cream fabric. So I am needing to do something with all of these lights that have designs on them because I love them. I think they make fabulous quilts. There is a quilt that I saw in a book that I think we're going to do later this year, and this might be the perfect bundle to save off for that, because you can see how they're all of these with the light background will just work perfectly. Look at that. Look at the like the ruler. So darling. And little sewing machines. Now the difference between this club and the Ruby Society Club is that this one is basically designed to use possibly, if you want, use the fabrics together. So they always send you a free pattern, which is exclusive to the club when it comes. And you can use this plus buy a background to make a quilt. That's a kind of cool quilt. The fabrics vary. This time it looks like they're basics, which is pretty nice. So you get to see basics. Plus they also send you a spool of thread in this club. So I like the basics here. I thought that's pretty neat. So you get a chance to see what they are. These are a really soft palette. Even though this orange is not screaming crayon bright orange, the pinks, navies, green with a navy, a little image on it, gold, gorgeous gold, and then you got the same pinks. Here's a teal and a yellow, more yellowy than gold, and sort of a bright lipstick red. There we go. So those are the two clubs, and this is how I end up, there we go. This is how I end up with a lot of fat quarters, which are also super useful. Occasionally they're not as useful, like we just saw when I found one that I think came in one of these clubs, and I don't have enough of it to do even a border for a small piece like that. But that's okay. It's great to have in the collection. All right, you're going to do your Secret Lives of Color Amaranth, and you will also tell me which border did you like for the crumb quilt. So those are your two assignments today. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.